Hi. Oh, we were waiting for the chair. I can start the meeting out of here and I'll pass it to you.
Do we have an agenda?
Yep,
Just starting from.
The agenda was for all.
it's right here.
Yeah. Okay, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Audit?
No, we
Ignore
got
the
last
audit.
meeting.
Oh, okay.
It's just finance today.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call the finance committee to order. I would like to be done in 2 hours. So here's what we talked this afternoon. We're thinking 45 minutes for, DPW, 45 minutes for, parking utility, because there seems to be some issues around parking and understanding the parking utility and ins and outs and all that.
You gotta ask, it's been noticed.
Has the meeting been properly noticed?
The meeting has been posted and noticed according to law.
All trustees are present.
Everyone's here except trustee Bachhorst, trustee Maher, trustee McCaig.
And I will excuse myself just at 7:30 and come right back after the phone call.
Okay. So the general plan for tonight, 45 minutes for, let's finish capital. We do have kind of a summary of where we are at, right, Mark?
I do.
Okay.
I can actually shuffle these around. If you've got an open spot next to you for somebody who may be coming, just leave one there. These are a summary of the questions that I sent out earlier today. So, and I know they came a little late, so you may or may not have seen them. This is the summary of the list for you to tabulate on.
Except the total's not there.
Yeah.
Is there a running total?
Well, you haven't made any decisions yet. So,
About
It's like 140, I had that
It's from
amount.
this board.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
so we were somewhere in capital, someone's gonna have to remind me where we were. And we were gonna finish capital, then go back to DPW, hoping to spend some time there. Then if we can do utilities in 45 minutes, we should be somewhere close to 8. And Rebecca did wanna take 10 minutes at the end to kind of see how everyone's feeling, and do we need an extra date on top of the 22nd for wrap-up? Or do people feel like we've gotten our questions and we're comfortable and we're ready to, make decisions? Because the 22nd, we're gonna, unless we're ready to like really start voting and making decisions, then we may need extra time. If people feel like we need more time to discuss and digest and discuss amongst ourselves, then we should schedule an extra meeting, so, okay.
Thanks. Oh, and trustee McCaig will be here, she's just running late, and I personally haven't heard from trustee Bachhorst.
And spoke with him, she said that she would be.
I thought she said she was coming.
Okay.
Mike
My
is
mom
not gonna be here?
said he probably will not.
Okay, well, there you go. So where did we end up on capital?
Well, if we could go back to page 104, that was kind of at the tail end. I'd just like to review what the group wanted.
For what?
Wanted on the list, I guess, because this doesn't reflect anything capital, the thing I just passed out, so just, I'm a little unclear
Well,
as
we
we were.
said 10,000 for River Trail, you said could go to TID 3.
Is that something that seems
Yep.
that we can start with over there?
And I think we decided the document management software was just not feasible to do. Did we?
My note is that you guys left off at trustee chairs.
Yeah, I thought we said the document management software could move to 2021.
Yeah, with some preliminary research.
Okay, look, we're 60,000, we made 60,000.
Good job,
That's
good
really
job.
great, okay. Trustee chairs, I think there was consensus to take those off too, and trustee microphones, so we're at 69,000. Yay.
Now, I have a note here that says that you may want to consider adding money to the transportation and parking study due to scope issues.
I don't know if it was adding, there's 90,000 altogether, and the split that I read was 15,000 for parking. It might be okay, because I just looked at Whitefish Bay's parking study,
Mhm.
I don't know how much it costs, I just wanna find that out. 15,000 seems light for all of our parking, but it might be appropriate. I don't want any more money, that, it just was,
So you don't wanna review that any further? I mean, that's just my basic question.
I don't,
That you feel will work within in that, dollar time, cost estimate?
Well, and, you know, for plan commission last night, I was looking at, traffic studies, and TADI has done, they did one for Light Horse, one for Metro, I think a third on that Olive and Oakland, so I mean, we've had the same firm do 3 traffic studies, we have Ayers do Lake Drive, I mean, we have.
the Grave do Wilson.
Right, yeah, they didn't do much of a traffic study, I guess, no. But I mean, we've had, you know, a lot of work done recently, so, I think 90 is okay, I mean, to start with. Okay, so we said no to microphones, no to chairs.
What about the village hall equipment and furniture?
Where is that?
Did we get to that? I don't know where we are.
On page 104.
That is,
'Cause I'm on
that's on the
page-
list, that was from the village manager's budget,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, I just saw it here.
so that is on the list.
Is it on the next? Well, let's just go down the page, okay. Squad 10 replacement, I did ask what kind of shape that vehicle is in. Is it a vehicle that has been needing repairs, or is it doing okay? Do we know?
Chief Nimbers in the building.
Sorry, I was trying to get some time. I'll get the mileage for you.
Well, I mean, has it been in the shop a lot, or is it basically okay?
So Squad 10 is our oldest squad, obviously, in the fleet. It's our supervisor car, so it runs every shift. Again, we talk about hours and mileage, but I think the mileage on that, I'll double check, but I think it's around probably 80,000 on that one, could be lower. And it's mechanically, if you wouldn't wanna use it necessarily in a pursuit vehicle.
Right.
They just get to the point where they're just a little, the brakes aren't as good, it's just not as tight as it should be. And so, I just wanna emphasize that we were scheduled to have 2, replaced this next year, and I did pull one off.
Right.
So I would ask that at least that to be considered. to be
Would the
replaced.
supervisor be involved in a pursuit, though?
Oh, yeah, I was involved in 4 pursuits this year. Seriously.
All right,
So, yeah.
well, what do you guys think?
I say no. What's 20,000 miles a year? I get it.
I think
It's just as similar to me, so I'm gonna be taking, not just for the police car, I'm just taking a broader look at, all vehicles, all replacement for capital, because we're doing that for roads, and I feel like, we're doing it for infrastructure, we might as well do it, be very consistent and do it for our fleet, and, those are the 2 biggest expenses.
You want it on the
Departments.
list, I guess, is really the end result.
I think it has to be on the list, yeah, but, okay.
So,
But what does that mean on the list? Like, on the list for removal? or
That
on the
means
list
during,
for
during wrap-up, when the whole body's assembled,
Okay.
you'll either vote or straw
Decide.
poll on what to forward to the public.
unless we have agreement, we can keep it on the list, but I'm just wondering what your
I
thoughts
wanna
are
see
now.
where we end up at the end, we have to get through library, and, I'm not averse to talking about a wheel tax. We haven't talked about, wages or benefits yet, I mean, we have big things we haven't talked about yet, so.
Let me just ask this though, in general, if there wasn't a gap we were trying to fill, but we, it's gonna be a structural thing, is that something we would consider delaying small capital by a year or 2?
Yeah, I would, but I mean, I would agree that, I think we need to push the whole schedule out a year, not like just forego this year and then double up next year, that just gives us a big problem next year, so.
Well, sorry.
Good, go ahead.
So, I guess my inclination is to understand delaying all small capital, or is it like on a case-by-case basis, like, for this squad car, looking at sort of the factors of age and, all of that stuff? Like, is that another option instead of just delaying?
So,
Yeah,
I think
we
it's
should do
both,
that.
just to clarify.
Mhm.
So we do have a schedule, so every 4 years the vehicles are replaced,
Right.
right? And then when they come up, we look at them case by case as well, because some of them we've delayed, like, Leanne has said, for years. I mean, it's not like that we do it, so we would be pushing, say, and I don't know if this is the right number, but say the schedule's based on 4 years, say we move everything to 5, that you still have
I
an
see.
opportunity to,
Okay.
at year 5, it'll be put in the budget and we review the
Okay.
conditions.
I mean, some things we can't push, like the, North Shore capital stuff, we have to, we have to pay those.
Right.
You know, could I just add a comment to that, or
Yeah,
after
a quick-
trustee Warren goes?
I was just gonna say, I agree with trustee Menta that about putting it on the list. I think it should be considered, as part of that larger discussion. I'm sensitive to Chief Nemmer's concerns. We wanna make sure that it's suitable for police use, and that it's something they feel comfortable, deploying in the way that it's deployed throughout the year. So I'm okay with it being on the list, but I'm certainly not committed to cutting it. I'd like to see the other things that are optional to cut, budget consideration.
And then my only feedback for the group would be that, in the appendices, we've scheduled out our vehicle replacement program based on our estimated useful lives. There is some flexibility in those, but if the will of the body is to consider other evaluation matrix, we then we no longer are able to manage that to the point where we have, 50,000 or 200,000 a year coming in for DPW vehicles, 100,000 for police vehicles. Then it'll end up bunching up, and you'll get $1 million request for equipment to come in, and then you're deferring equipment that, by your own standards, you've just said you need to replace. So it's just a little bit of just a consideration in the big picture on how you manage your fleet replacement.
So, I don't think we're saying anything different. If you're saying because it's mileage, I would hope it wouldn't bunch up, because we're replacing on it, say, every 4 years or something, but if it did, don't change that, just push, you could push it out a year, but still evaluate mileage when it comes up during that scheduled time. I hear your concerns.
No, thank you.
All right,
Trustee Amenta?
yeah,
Can I just add, just as a consideration, both for Chief Nimmer's, issue here and ultimately ours and maybe PDD and their fleet costs. Typically, when you defer replacement of vehicles, there's a consideration that your maintenance budget increases.
Just like roads.
Yep, I mean, we've seen that, so, just something to consider that the maintenance budget that we've built for 2019, I'm assuming this works for Chief Nimmer, though I won't speak for him, I will speak only for our budget. That maintenance budget is built on an expectation or an assumption based on current schedules that the vehicles we requested will be replaced. If they're not, and that, that is absolutely the board's purview, then I would ask that you allow us the ability to go back and reevaluate our operating maintenance needs to keep those budget,
Sure.
to keep those vehicles frontline.
And if there's a vehicle during this process that is in disrepair and would need maintenance for some reason, I think was the
I
question
guess
to
is
the
there,
chief.
do you ever have to do maintenance on a vehicle that you didn't expect to have to do maintenance on?
Constant, sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then there's sort of variability built in already then. It's not like, oh, this is replaced and we have this maintenance schedule and this is all we do, right?
Well, some of it has to do with warranty too on those, so, but I would say, for instance, so far as squads, it becomes, just a little more costly as the years go on, just because they're get beat up, so,
Yeah, no, I think, and if there, to Leanne's point, if there's something during our review, like this, if not replaced, we need to fix this. That's kind of like when we did the fire station. If we don't replace the whole thing by the end of the year, we have to do the boiler. Then that should be a definite cost that goes in, considered.
I don't know that we can specifically identify that, but it's not really that different from your personal vehicles, right?
Right.
As they get up in age and they get up in mileage and they get up in use, you are more likely to have unanticipated repairs that are necessary.
Like water mains.
Right, yes, any type, anything. And so to some degree, we build our maintenance budget based on, what we've seen in repair and maintenance records to date. But as vehicles age, they just need more attention, more love, a little more give to keep them going. And, you know, that's different on a vehicle that's 8 years old versus a vehicle that's 10, 11, or 12.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut this off, but we need to move on. So, okay, so I think we're done with page 104. Page 105, organics carts, I think this is for another 2 months?
I put them on the list, I think, I've said consistently, I don't think we should subsidize the program anymore.
I'd like to put it, yeah, I think this is something, if we do go ahead with the garbage utility, we could put organics.
Well, this is also provisional on, again, items that we anticipate coming before the board, between now and budget adoption.
Oh, they will, it'll get there,
Yeah.
okay.
So, absolutely.
Okay, the seasonal decorations, I'm fine taking that off.
Take them out. I think we should talk with, we should make a list also for the bid, and Ian's not here yet, but, and just sit down maybe with the president, and just say, here are the things that maybe we're not in the future foreseeing.
Are there other feelings about the snowflakes?
Like most, right?
Yeah. Anyone want to save the snowflakes? No.
It's a nice spot.
No, okay, I don't hear anything after that. Hey, we're at 230,000, that's great, okay. I don't even know what a Roscoe roller is it like?
There's a description of it in the budget documents.
Maybe
with the
someone could
narratives.
just tell us briefly.
It's just it's an asphalt roller for.
Oh, I did read that. So, what are we using now? We do that in-house, right? So can you just refresh, so like Ally, if you pothole this, you'd be using this asphalt roller?
Correct, we use it for that, we also use it for water main breaks, sewer repairs.
Page 124
Catch
on a
basin
picture.
repairs. It's the smaller type of patching stuff that we do, and the Roscoe roller is a small unit. It's not one of those big rollers you go down the freeway, it's, you know, smaller, but, was purchased, it's on the list, and it was purchased in 1989, but I think it was purchased used, cause it's gotta be from the 70s, and it's an old unit. And we have troubles keeping it going, so.
It doesn't have the capability of getting your compaction either on the asphalt, so your asphalt will start breaking away and create more potholes.
I mean, I'm
I'm all right with it.
I'm fine keeping it on, and what do people think about the plow and the welder? I mean, the big one is truck 150, truck 55, I'm sorry.
I'm concerned, the plows, this is the plow, it's not the truck, right? It's the plow blade or something like that, whatever. And we store those outside, correct, right now?
Correct.
And, is that the replacement schedule based on the fact that we, you know, cause I'm sure it's not shielded from any elements all year, right?
You're correct on that, but that's really not the reason, because the actual plow blade itself is not steel. The hitch is steel, but the plow blade itself is a polymer type of plastic. And, you know, they get beat up pretty good when we're doing a lot of plowing operations, you know. Just the wear and tear on the.
What's wrong with this one?
That's the reason, you know, we've been on a schedule to replace them. This is the next oldest unit we have.
And how old is it? I just worried.
Not without looking at it.
It's probably in the
Okay.
asset schedule attached to the budget.
Yep, sorry, we don't.
I know, I'm
Because
just
they're much more
saying,
familiar than we are.
but if you're gonna ask people how old plow blades
believe
are,
it's
I mean, that's
this
information
particular one
that's
is 15 years old.
provided. Well, I guess I don't have to look it up, but
It's about 15, she said.
I don't have an issue with the three under DPW equipment.
I don't have an issue this year, but I do wanna look at that throughout the year, just understand the equipment needs.
Okay, truck 55 replacement, I do see there's 1, 2,
What's a
3,
leader?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 10 dump trucks. So if we did not replace this one, we'd go from 10 to 9 dump trucks. So I see the dump trucks, you attach the plow to do the snow,
Can
correct?
I ask where you? It's in the, you know how you split them up, you told me, for, in the back here, but Mark put them in different units, so it might not necessarily be 10.
let me
Oh,
just
it's
look,
more than
because
that.
I'd just like to, give Leanne a chance. The vehicle inventory is appendix D on page 183.
Hey, Mark,
Here.
on this line item, it's 160.
Yeah, no, there's 10. According to this list.
Yeah,
That
it's
list is not
170
correct.
under,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
160 to 170.
I have, ready?
Yeah.
45, fleet number 47, 50, 54, 55, 56, 57,
Oh,
58,
yep,
59.
okay, got it.
There's a,
Is that correct?
It's $10,000
there's a
difference.
$10,000.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Could you read those again?
Sure, ready? 45,
Here. Yeah.
I'm looking at my list.
Oh, okay.
47,
Mm-hmm.
50, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59.
That is correct, although 45 is not a full-size dump truck. It has a dump body, but it's a smaller truck.
And neither is 47.
And 47 would be the same.
I guess the question is what would be the operational impact of having 9 instead of 10 dump trucks?
Or which one is it replacing? Number
55.
55, which is a full-size dump truck that's used for plowing.
It says it's used for water utility.
It's
That-
only, but,
I'm sorry, you still don't have that old list that I shared with you, we don't know what the source of that was, I don't know if you ever figured that out.
yeah. 55 and 56 are both owned by, they're both utility trucks, but they are used for plowing during the winter.
But isn't 57, 58, and 59 also used for winter operation?
Yes.
Those are the main ones, and then you call in these, but you could call in forestry, you could call
No.
in,
That's not large enough to plow.
what about number 50?
Does not have the right attachments for a plow.
Because it secondary says winter operations, okay, and then what about 54?
54 is a plow truck.
54 is plow truck.
So 57, 58, and 59 are plow/salting trucks. The remaining ones just plow, they don't have salters on them. So we have 3 salt trucks, and typically we plow with the other 6 as well, so.
So, I'm sorry, just 57, 59
57, 58, 59 are salters.
salters, okay.
They salt and plow.
And plow, okay.
Typically in a larger snow event, we will run 6 plow trucks. So the 3 front line also have the salters, and then there are 3 that run behind them doing the secondary lanes, gutter cuts, parking lane.
And is the vehicle that you're replacing in disrepair? Is it, it's just old, or?
It's replaced because of age and maintenance concerns.
Because I saw there was like some rust on the outside, I didn't know.
All of our